Well, surprise. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in P2, welcome in. It has been a long time. I don't even remember the last day I recorded. But there's all kinds of cool news that's been released in the past couple weeks, right? Obviously, all around the Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. Those lucky, 20 people or so that got to experience it in the Grand Canyon or by the Grand Canyon, and showed off some features and some really cool videos and pictures. So really cool, amazing stuff. And people who are, of course, huge fans of Microsoft Flight Sim are super, super excited about it, as I am. Now, they did announce, they said there would probably be a beta phase sometime in October, and that is rapidly approaching. So maybe, just maybe, we'll all get to try it as a stress test. If they're smart, they would allow the general public to stress test it, right? The last time you streamed, I couldn't even land the Phoenix. Now I managed to land it under 250. All right. 250 is fantastic. You know, I've been struggling with my landings recently. I really have been. It doesn't matter what plane. I primarily was doing the 319, but I've been jumping into a few other aircrafts recently. I feel like I've gotten burnt out with on-air. I've done most of my flights with on-air, and I feel like I wasn't having as much fun doing flights as I was doing the ones that paid the most in on-air. So I paused my company in on-air, and now I'm using NEWSKY a bit again. And NEWSKY is really good because NEWSKY there's no stress, there's no pressure, you just fly, right? It's great to manage your flight, details at least. But there's no like career mode aspect of it, so in that aspect is lacking drastically. But in terms of seeing where your landing rates are, seeing how well your departure was, and all it's great. It's fantastic. So I've been using that the last couple days here since I paused my on-air. So yeah, the Phoenixes are tricky, and here's even more to throw into that trickiness. So I said I was going to do this, probably my last stream or the stream before that. I was going to wipe my system to prep for Flight Sim 2024. And I was going to wait until November to do it. But you know what? I had a couple days off, and I decided I'm going to do it now. No time better than now. So I went ahead and I wiped my system. I do have several drives that have like my games on it and some other programs. So simply it was a wipe of Windows. And it actually went really, really well. I'm just blown away still. I was talking about this to a coworker, and the fact that I can wipe a system and then be back into Flight Sim within an hour and a half and have everything working is amazing. Just amazing. And have no issues. Absolutely zero issues. And I use a bunch of add-on stuff, to make Flight Sim even more immersive. So that was really, really cool. And for whatever reason, here's something to throw. This is what brought up the story. Is last week, and my cousin let me try out his PSVR. He had bought it since it became available on the PC. He's a big VR nerd, so he let me try it out on my PC. And one thing I will tell you is this: I'm not a big VR person because I deal with the motion sickness really hard. But man, like we tried Half-Life Alyx, and I've played it on the Rift and also the Quest 2, and I thought it looked really good then. Wow. With the OLED display, it is a whole different ballgame. It is sickening how amazing it looks. I was trying to grab onto the walls in the VR because I thought they were real. It was so cool. Of course, we did try Microsoft Flight Sim, It worked, but it was pretty darn. The FPS was pretty darn awful. It was pretty awful. So ever since then, I didn't connect these two things together. But ever since then, I've noticed my sim struggling a bit. The FPS has been tanking. I've been having a lot more stutters on landings, a lot more freezes in midair, and I wasn't sure what was going on. I was blaming it all on the server side of things, right? Because nothing's changed on my PC. But then I thought about it. I was like, well, I also did throw in 64 gigs of RAM. I upgraded from my 32, so it's 2 new sticks. So maybe those are a lower clock rate because I don't have XMP enabled. But I do. And I was running benchmarks, and every other game was running okay. Or better, the same, if not better. And then I looked into the settings for Flight Sim. And for whatever reason, when I connected the PC VR, the PlayStation VR to the system, it's for some reason changed all my default settings in Flight Sim. And it set everything to max ultra. Everything. Like the terrain distance was max, the objects just what's it called? The detail was max. Everything was on ultra. And I was like, holy crap, no wonder why it's struggling. Like, I have a decent system, a 4080, a 14700, but it was never struggling this bad in terms of the stutters, right? And so I went ahead and I went in, I started tweaking my stuff last night, and I got everything back to normal, how I like it. Like right now I'm sitting here in Pittsburgh, and we're at almost 100 FPS. Jumps between 90 and 100. That's my normal FPS at an airport like this. This is the freeware you can find on flightsim.to. I'm surprised no one has done a Pittsburgh airport yet, so I wonder if there'll be one in 2024. Crossed 100 subscribers on your channel. That's fantastic. I didn't even have this PC for 10 months ago and channels up. That's fantastic. I don't know. I think I'm subscribed to you. If not, I'll jump on after the stream. I'll subscribe to you, P2. What graphics settings? So I have a mixture between medium and high. In all honesty, there's on the flightsim.com forum, there's someone went through and did a comparison of each setting in detail within Flight Sim, and this was 2-3 years ago. Whenever it launched, someone went through and did this, and those are the settings I pretty much use. You know, some things have virtually no impact on the FPS from ultra to high. Some have an impact from medium to high, but the visuals are almost the same. So I use those settings in there. So it's a mixture of medium, high, and ultra. I'd say majority of it's high and ultra. Okay, so like I said, we are here in Pittsburgh. We're going to take this beautiful 737 that I've been struggling with again, which I used to be a pro at, and I've been such an Airbus user for so long now that I've been struggling with the 737. I'm struggling also with the Embraer 170, 175. Everything flies so much differently than the Airbus because of the whole the fly-by-wire. We are also using NEWSKY, like I said, and we're using Beyond ATC. No Beyond ATC traffic, no. No. I've been actually using Beyond ATC a little bit the last week. One, because I want to be fair to myself, be fair to the product, and be fair to say intentions. And if you watched my channel, if you watched my stream, I am a major fan of Say Intentions. I love everything about it, and I've definitely been more closed mind to Beyond ATC. There's no doubt about that. It has its issues. There's no doubt. I'm not going to say it's a fantastic product by any means, because I've done maybe 6 flights with it, and I'd say 50% of those flights have been okay. Yesterday, this flight right here, I did last night in the 170, and when I should have been on the final approach, it vectored me 180 and had me go back to a different waypoint. And then at that point, I just turned it off because there's nothing to do about it. I kept on asking it to send me to this fix, and it wouldn't do it. It's just like, sorry, I can't do it. It's too far. So it has its issues, but it's not bad. It's not bad. It's definitely different than say intentions. Some things are really really neat, like the vectoring on departure is really really cool. But I really do miss the real chatter with insane intentions. I miss the cabin crew with insane intentions, and I do miss some of the phrase. How do you say it? Phrase out. I can't say the word. I think you know what I'm trying to say. I do miss that aspect of say intentions as well. So for $30, I think Beyond ATC is a winner. There's no doubt about it. If you don't have the funds to buy a subscription monthly to say intentions, it's a steal. It's the best you can get out there, with the voice quality and the performance. But I still firmly believe say intentions is light years ahead when it comes to true AI ATC. But so we'll put that on the side now, and let's get this flight going, huh? All right, so the flight we are doing Pittsburgh to Reagan Washington National in this beautiful 737. I asked because I have a alternate longitude mix. Yeah, so I'll jump in real quick and I'll show you my settings. Like I said, I'm just mostly using the ones from the flight sim form. But so this is the basic stuff here: full screen, 1440, DLSS, quality set for DLSS, frame generation on, VSync, DX12 of course, and then so down here I have 125. This was maxed out for whatever reason when it was all set to ultra. Let's see what we got here. We have ultra on the off screen, terrain's ultra, buildings a medium, trees and bushes and grass are all ultra. Objects of the detail, I have 70. They recommend 100, but 70 seems to be the best for me, and I still get good quality. Clouds ultra, of course. Texture is high, 16 for the filter. Super sampling is 6x6, high on the other texture. The waves are medium. Shadows maxed as much as I can do on both. Actually, they're not maxed, are they? Yeah, they are. High on the shadows, contact shadows. Windshield effects high. Ambient high. Reflections 256. Ray marched at high. Light shafts ultra. Bloom, I like that on. And then they have these off, but I do like them on. So I have these ultra, lens correction off, lens flare on, and then medium cockpit refresh. So those seem to work really good for me. Again, I have the 4080, 14700K, and these seem to work pretty good for me. Let's see, discard just in case. And like if I turn on, let's see if it actually works here. So right now we're sitting at 86 and 94. Insane latency, but so you can see, like it's decent FPS. Decent FPS. Oh, really? I didn't know there's accessibility issues with Beyond ATC. They should, yeah. See, that's something they definitely need to get into, because there are people who want to use ATC products and would like choices, right? And you need to be able to open those doors to everyone. So yeah, I'm with you 100%. If you haven't, maybe like send them a message in Discord or a support channel or something to see if they'll start listening, because they really do. I think I talked to you about God of War. Like Ragnarok seems to have a lot of accessibility issues. A lot of it. By the way, Ragnarok is fantastic. I got like 15 hours into it, and there's an audio bug with it, so I'm kind of holding off for them to get that patched up. some of the voices are really, really low. So I'm having a hard time hearing the story as it unfolds. But I feel like there's a good amount of accessibility issues, or accessibility features with Ragnarok. 7900 and a 7700. I thought about getting the 7900 for flight sim because that's primarily what I use. But I don't know. I'm one of the doofuses who's been an Intel person for so long. I was an AMD person back in the Athlon days. Work call. All right, now hey, take care of business. I used to be an AMD fan back in like early 2000s, and then I jumped over to Intel, Pentium, whatever it was, and I haven't looked back. All right, so here we are in this beautiful cockpit. Let's get going on this flight. So window heats all on there. Probes. We're going to be cruising up to 30,000, so we'll set that for our flight altitude. I always forget, because I'm so used to the Phoenix, I can't use my little switches on my honeycomb in this aircraft. So my flight yesterday, I didn't have takeoff lights on departure. Let's see what we got. AFT on and APU is started. Alright, over to the tablet now. Electronic flight flag, request the sim brief. And I'm going to go back up here and get the IRSs to nav. We'll give it a couple of seconds while that's thinking. We'll go to ATIS real quick. Again, this is a Beyond ATC flight.
Papa, 1415 Zulu, wind 140 and 8, visibility 6, light rain, mist, few clouds at 1,800, ceiling 3,600 broken, 8500 overcast, temperature 19er, 2.18, altimeter 2996. Landing and departing runways 10 center, 10 left, 10 right, 14. Numerous cranes in operation around Pittsburgh. Advise on initial contact, you have information Papa.
Information Papa.
Pittsburgh Airport information Papa.
Alright,
1415 Zulu. Wind 140 and 8. Visibility 6.
126,
light rain.
75.
Mist. Few clouds.
I need to start treating Beyond ATC, or say intention similar to Beyond ATC. I can look at the UI easily with say intentions to get the frequency. Beyond ATC, I have to go into another menu, and so I find myself looking at the charts more, which I need to do again in say intentions. All right, so we have our flight requested, all in there. Fuel weight 1204. Reserves are 2.1. And cost index is 39. And cruise 300. I did a flight, I don't remember what day it was anymore, but it's it was like 250 nautical miles, but it had me cruising at like 900 feet, or 9,000 feet, sorry. That was crazy. Alright, trim is 545. That's about that. And then we're gonna go over to departures. Oops, FMS departure. We're expecting runway 10 center for departure, and no star or a SID. Alright, so we can go ahead and get our V's in there. Alright, buckle. Okay, so we'll hold off on anything further at that point. We'll switch this back over to menu. Where the hell's menu? Oh, right there. Alright, and then we'll go up top here. We have an APU running. Yep, all looking good. Let's switch on the APU. Fuel as well. Yaw damper set. And off for the ground power. Back on down here. We'll turn off all of that. And we are grand. This is what Beyond ATC gets 100% correct. This is real. Yeah, I agree. The Beyond ATC ATIS is really cool. Really, really cool. Like I said, the vectors too. The vector on departure has been really, really neat. Like I'm assuming I'll get the same flight plan as yesterday. So the vectors are really, really neat. I haven't done this flight, I don't think, in St. Tensions ever, so I should probably try that and see how it is. Alright, shall we get clearance here in Pittsburgh? Alright, let's try it. Pittsburgh clearance, hello from Delta 516. We are a Boeing 737, ready to pick up our IFR clearance to Reagan National with information Papa. I do not like how fast it is, though.
Delta 516, Pittsburgh clearance, thanks for Papa. Cleared to Ronald Reagan, Washington National Airport. Radar vectors Morgantown, then is filed. Maintain 5,000 feet. Expect flight level 310, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 124.75, squawk 0710.
I also don't like how fast you have to respond to it. 0710 for squawk. Clear to Reagan, Washington National Airport. Radar vectors MGW, then is filed. Climb, maintain 5,000. Expect flight level 310. Departure 124.75, squawk 0710. Delta 516.
Delta 516, readback correct. Contact ground 127.8 when ready for push or start.
Alright, so let's gonna switch on over to 127 and an 8. Cause just like the intentions, I hate repeating that for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why. Alright, I think we're ready for pushback, aren't we? We have speed set, altitude set, squawking, comm 2 standby. We're on APU. I think we're ready. Anyone around us? Nope. Pittsburgh ground, Delta 516, request pushback and engine start.
Delta 516, Pittsburgh ground, pushback approved. Face west.
Pushback approved, face west. Delta 516. Alright, starting the pushback. And we're gonna go to APU lead on, ground, and start engine 2. I need to fix this because that for some reason doesn't turn on. So we're gonna wait for a 20 on the, what's that called? N2? Yeah. So I thought so, but for some reason I was thinking something else. Alright, got that going, and let's go also squawking. Engine 2 is coming on board. Morgantown. So I keep forgetting what it says. So I just do the, what is it, MGW? Yeah, that would be nice though. That would be really cool. Some of those, that's what's been throwing me off, I think, with Beyond ATC. Certain things like that I'm not expecting because of so many flights with same intentions. It throws me off what I should be actually saying. They did sucker me though, and I got some more voices for the $10. I finally was almost out of my credits or characters, whatever you want to call it, from when I initially bought Beyond ATC. That shows you how little I've actually flown with it. And so for one flight, I did the basic voices, and it worked. It definitely worked, but it wasn't great. It wasn't great, so I spent the $10 and got, what was it, 250,000 credits. And based on my calculation, without traffic and all that jazz, I should be able to get a handful of good flights. Like, I'm thinking, like, if my numbers are correct, obviously depends on the length of the flight, but typically my flights are like 200, 300 nautical miles. I can get probably 80 flights with $10, so that's not bad. That's not bad. That will probably take me a year to use, because I definitely will not consistently use beyond ATC. Alright, so we have engine 2 up, and let's get taxi clearance. Pittsburgh ground, Delta 516, request taxi clearance with information Papa.
Delta 516, runway 10 center taxi via Echo Whiskey.
10 center via Echo Whiskey, Delta 516. So one thing is that I've noticed is that the taxiing isn't nearly as good as the intentions. For example, here, the chart's not up, but they should be giving me... Oh, actually, yeah, it should be giving me Delta 3 or Whiskey or Delta 2 or Delta 1. But it's telling me to go... Actually, let me bring it up on the... Let me bring it up on the big screen. Actually, I don't have Navigator. Oh, yeah, I do. Let me bring it up here so you can see it, what I'm talking about. So it gave me Echo, and so here's Echo, and here's Whiskey. Oh, so yeah, it should be giving me later. It should be giving me Whiskey all the way, but it's giving me Delta. So it should be giving me like a Delta 2 or something, right? Because Echo's way down here. I have to get to Echo. How do I get to Echo? You know what I mean? So there should be something before Echo. But whatevers. Alright, parking brakes released, taxi lights need to come on. Put that to normal, that off, these to auto, and hydraulic pump on. Okay, let's get rolling. Okay, all looking grand. Let's go to flight director on. We'll switch our heading for the runway departure 10. And we'll just kind of make up our own thing here. Again, I really do miss the chatter. I do know there's traffic with the supporters pack. I don't want traffic. I don't need traffic.
Delta 516, contact Pittsburgh Tower 128.3.
I'd rather just have the chatter. Alright, over the tower. I'd rather have the FPS with my historical say intentions chatter. And the multiplayer. How do you like multiplayer? Hey, there's a guy here. I didn't know there's a plane here. I shouldn't say guy. There's a plane here. I didn't see that. Alright. Holding short runway 10 center. Alright, on the tower. And let's get departure on the standby. 12475. Pittsburgh Tower, Delta 516, holding short runway 10 center, ready for departure. Alright, and landing lights on,
Delta
taxi lights
516,
on.
Pittsburgh Tower, wind 140 at 8, fly heading 100, runway 10 center, cleared for takeoff.
Heading 100, cleared for takeoff, runway 10 center, Delta 516. I do find that beyond ATC will yell at you if you do not say the runway. And even with strict enforcements on say intentions, I can just say clear for takeoff. If you listen to live ATC, they don't always say the runway, they just say clear for takeoff. They don't always say that, they sometimes say the runway, of course, but I'm not sure what the proper etiquette is. Alright, let's bring up the power to about there. And Toga get set or no? Oh, here we go, auto throttle. Alright, toga set. And let's get rolling out of here.
Airspeed alive.
Looks like the weather's crappy in Washington.
8 knots.
It's a big old red on there.
V1. Rotate.
Rotating.
Positive rate of climb.
Gear coming up. I love the callouts. I love the callouts. Alright, 100 for heading, it said. Alright, nav,
Delta
heading
516,
mode.
contact
Oops.
Pittsburgh departure.
VNAV, there we go. Departure Delta 516, passing 2,800, climbing 5,000. Alright, we'll go to AP on.
Delta 516, Pittsburgh departure, radar contact, climb and maintain 15,000 feet, altimeter 299er6.
15,000, Delta 516. Alright, 15,000 in the box. That was a long process there. Okay, and flaps coming up further. And full flaps up. Anti-skid to off.
Delta 516, turn right, heading
Lower
175.
this a
Expect
little
further
bit, this is
clearance in
good,
about
right?
16 miles.
Let's see. Right heading 175, Delta 516. 175, I'm using my honeycomb. I can use the wind wing FSU if I wanted to.
Delta 516, turn right, heading 180.
180. Right heading 180, Delta 516. Like I said, the vectors are really cool. This was cool. Alright, getting close to passing 10,000, so we'll get landing lights off momentarily. This is a fun flight. It's short. That's what I like. And when the weather is nicer, the visibility, or the graphics are really cool. Scenery. Scenic route to Reagan. Alright, bust down some clouds soon. Landing lights off. Oh yeah, so Parallel 42 has released the immersion pack to the early, what's it called? Whatever the thing's called, Club 42 or something. For people who have spent over $42 or something like that in their store, you can now get the immersion pack for the 737. I have not spent that kind of money in their store apparently, because I bought it between. I bought stuff from them between different stores, not all from their store. I think Flow's the only thing I ever bought directly from them. That was like $10 maybe. Alright, so shortly it will give us direct to Morgantown, right? So it said
Delta 516, contact Cleveland Center 2845.
12845. Cleveland Center, Delta 516, passing 3,000, climbing 15,000.
Delta 516, Cleveland Center, good day. Climb and maintain flight level 310.
Climbing to flight level 130, Delta 516. 310.
Negative, climb and maintain flight level 310.
Did I not say that? Climbing to flight level 310, Delta 516.
Delta 516, clear direct Morgantown VOR. Resume own navigation.
Direct to Morgantown, Delta 516. Alright, so we're going direct to Morgantown. Which we're already on that course, so we can switch over to LNAV. Well, I guess we gotta get on course first for Morgantown. I don't know why, but I'm really, really excited to fly the Max. I know there's someone working on the Max flight. Was it iFly? Working on the Max for flights in 2020. But then 2024 is going to have one built in from Asobo. So like, I don't know. If iFly releases it at a decent time frame and a decent price, I might grab it. I might grab it if it's decent. If it's decent, we'll have to see early reviews of it. But I would love to fly a Max. Alright, we're expecting runway 1 for the arrival. But beyond ATC does change it as well. Like St. Tensions does, so keep that in mind. Arrival altimeter 3007. And then, we're set heading on, that's fine. We'll go into arrival, runway 1 ILS. Currently via Freedom 6. Transition bucko. Execute that. Okie dokie. Are we close enough yet for LNAV? Yes, we are. The one thing beyond ATC that I dislike, and I don't know how real this is though, and so this could be all real and I don't know what I'm talking about, is it does change centers a lot. An awful lot. So I think going into Washington here, once we get past Bucko, if it does what it's been doing, it will have me switch like to 3 different Washington centers in that time frame. But I'm only going into one other airspace, and that's after Bucko. But between Bucko and Reagan, it seems to have me jump a lot.
Delta 516, contact Cleveland Center 126.905.
So this is our second Cleveland Center. So we're gonna switch over to that one. We'll keep track of this. Cleveland Center Delta 516, passing flight level 230, climbing 310.
Delta 516, Cleveland Center, roger.
Alright, so we're climbing up to 310, all looking grand. We have our arrival information imported. And at this point, we're just kind of cruising along here. All's great. So, I watched quite a few different videos from content creators. Jeff Fabiano's is definitely the one I paid the most attention to about Flight Sim 2024. His is mostly pictures, but his is also more detailed, in my opinion. It was more of an authentic review versus a, how do you say, versus a, eye candy
Delta
review.
516, Cleveland Center, expect Freedom 6, runway 19er.
See, it's just a 19er. Expect runway 19er via Freedom 6, Delta 516. 19er. That's going to be an RNAV. So arrival, 19er. Yankees are I'm expecting. Freedom 6, Bucko is how going to stay. And then we can go Bucko. There we go. Okay, it's all back. Arrival NA for runway. What's that mean? There we go. I think something screwed up there. We'll have to keep it high die on that one. I think something got goofed up. But yeah, so I watched a lot of Jeff Aviano stuff. I've talked about him on the stream here quite a bit, probably. But I like his stuff. He has great Grand Theft Auto stuff, and I love his flight sim stuff. He doesn't do a lot of flight sim stuff because he said people just harp on him so much for doing things certain ways. And he's like, I just want to have fun. And so he tries to not do much flight sim streaming because he's just tired of all the harping on following this procedure, following that procedure. And he just wants to have fun. So I get that. I totally get that 100%. You know, I get it a little bit on my little small channel. And people be like, oh, that was an awful landing, whatever. No, I'm just doing it for fun. Right? There's no need to come in and criticize me for something for fun. Right? This isn't like my day job. This isn't not trying to get my private license or my APL or something, right? This is all just for fun. It's like, yeah, it's a cool approach. I'm gonna put that on the channel. That's what that was. You know, that's what all these videos are. That's what the streams are. I'm like, I like this approach. I like this flight. I think it's really, really cool. So you know what? I'll do a stream. So others can see it who haven't done this approach before. Or sorry, I keep saying approach. This route. So there's so much toxic negativity in the world. And of course with the internet it's made it even worse. But you know, I don't consider myself a content creator. I know I have the badge and the mod role at Say Intention Discord, but I don't consider myself a content creator. My channel is so small, and the content.
Delta 516, descend via Freedom 6 arrival, Ronald Reagan, Washington, National Airport landing, runway 19er, altimeter tree 007.
Descend via Freedom 6 for the runway 19er, altimeter 3007, Delta 516. Alright, so we gotta get that in next. So, Freedom 6,000. So the cool thing about the beautiful 737 is that it will automatically start its descent. Whereas the Airbus, you have to trigger it. I wonder why aircraft manufacturers do certain things. It's always interests me. Very much so. But as I was saying, I don't consider myself a content creator. I'm just having fun, right? And it's cool that there's some people who like what I do. That's awesome, right? But I would never make this my full-time job. I don't care for streaming. Honestly, today I questioned if I was going to stream. I thought about it yesterday and I was like, I don't want to. I don't like streaming. I hate streaming. I could work on a video instead and pop it up on the channel. But I decided I'll stream instead. But I'm not a big streamer because I don't have a whole lot of things to talk about, I guess, that are interesting. So I let that be done to the pros, to the full-time streamers. They're much more entertaining than I am.
Delta 516, contact Washington Center 128.6. Have a good day.
Alright, here's our first Washington Center. That was that 2 or 3 Cleveland? Washington Center, Delta 516, descending via Freedom 6, passing flight level 290. They definitely seem to be struggling today with
Delta 516, Washington Center, roger.
we're processing the information. Okay, so runway 19er. Oh, that's all right. Okay, yeah. I'm thinking runway 1. So this is going to be the river. Oh god, it's going to be the river. That's going to be interesting. I'm glad.
Delta
well, we're now in
516, contact Washington
MDFR,
Center
so
133.65, take care.
it was red. See, here we go. What the hell is this? I just switched over to center. Now I'm going to switch over to another center. Alright, so that's 2. Washington Center, Delta 516, descending via Freedom 6, passing flight level 266.
Delta 516, Washington Center, roger.
So that was within a span of, what, 10 nautical miles? So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know how realistic that is, but I do prefer, say, intentions, less center handoffs. Alright, runway 1 now, 19 now, so I'm going to do the Y. That's typically what I get. Landing is 0, that's off land. Okay, so there's really nothing I have to worry about at this point, everything's fine. Upon landing, let's see what gate it gives us. I'll just let it give us an assigned gate. So I talking about a little bit about the performance issues I've been having with Flight Sim, right? I've also been having. So okay, so I don't remember who it was. Someone, I don't remember if it was P2 or someone else, but they were mentioning that I should update to the latest BIOS from my motherboard, so I finally did. And doing so has all been flawless. Everything worked great, except the temps have jumped up. So I've been trying to adjust the V-core so that it's not as high, and I have it pretty good. It's under 1.4, typically at 1.38 or so, which is fine. But the temperatures do spike. Right now, like in this session of Flight Sim, it's spiked up to 79 Celsius, which is still cool. But yesterday, obviously ambient temperature plays a big factor, and I think it's probably 70 Fahrenheit here. I'm not sure what the Celsius conversion is on that. But yesterday it jumped up to 87. Now the average is still really low. Like right now the average is 40, which is crazy low. But the average yesterday was like, I think, 50. So I've been contemplating getting a different AIO. One, because I really hate having the software. So I have the Kraken. I really hate having a software manage my a software built into Windows manage my fans when I rather have the BIOS manage the fans. So that's plays a bigger factor. And then 2, I've been thinking about, I should have done it. I can't remember the brand now, but there's a brand that I should have gone with first place. I didn't because of the time frame it would take for me to get it. So I went with this one, which I got from Best Buy. So I've been thinking about going in that direction. I have a long weekend coming up here, so I'm thinking hard about it. And I have to make that decision today if I'm going to get it shipped and have it ready for Friday so I can install that jazz. If I don't go that path, either way I was going to repaste my system to see if maybe if a better pasting job would help. But I don't believe it's going to make a major impact because the temps beforehand were fine. And the thing I don't understand is nothing's changed. The fans are all the same. The V-core is the same, honestly. Well, it's slightly higher, slightly, but it shouldn't be making as big of a difference in temp. Again, the temps are stable. I should not be worrying about this, but I'm a psycho when it comes to some of these numbers. I'm curious what you think of MS. The 2024 career. Oh, you can skip the certifications? I didn't know that. Ooh. Yeah, I was going to complain about that a little bit, but at the same time not. People are complaining because there's no standalone
Delta
mission, but if
516,
it were
contact
like
Washington
that,
Center 133.2.
Yeah. Alright, is this our third or fourth transfer now? I lost track already. Washington Center, Delta 516, passing flight level 187, descending via Freedom 6. Welcome back, P2. So, I don't know what I think yet about the missions, the career mode stuff. I'm excited.
Delta 516, Washington Center, roger.
Because having a built-in one would be really, really awesome. You know, that's one less add-on to have. I have pretty much decided I'm not going to be. I probably won't. Okay, I won't say that. I won't say I won't. But I highly unlikely will jump back into APL. I feel like I've burned myself out of APL.
Delta 516, contact Washington Center 120.65.
Why? I don't understand why these center handoffs like this. This is crazy. This is it got to be number 4 at least. That's again. This is what I really dislike about the Beyond ATC. Washington Center, Delta 516, passing 17,000, descending via Freedom 6. But so what's it called? Simbit World, right? They are
16 Washington Center, roger.
Releasing something called AGT, and it sounds like it's meant more for general aviation. So curious about that. That might be something to get me back into GA flying. I thought it was going to be that way with On Air, but it ended up me just going back to Airliners. And I love the concept of On Air. I had a blast for all the hours I put into it so far. But once I bought an A319 within On Air, the maintenance, the weekly ownership cost of it is so high that now I'm just pushing. I was just grinding to pay back being able to afford, the ownership cost. So it's like $428,000 or something like that per week. So I was just doing flights that had payouts that were that high, even though they're flights I didn't really care about doing or that I've done enough times and I'm bored with them. Yeah, the East Coast is really nasty today. It was nasty yesterday too. So I think I burnt myself out on air just because of that. I think it's fine. Again, I've had no bad things to say about APL or On Air. I think they're fantastic. I think I just burnt myself out of both of them. Flying it non-stop all the time. And I ain't gonna lie, like there was a point like what, a month and a half ago, 2 months, where I've kind of burnt myself out of ATC because 99% of my flights were with ATC, primarily Say Intentions. But then when I was like, I want to do a Say Intentions flight right now, I did Beyond ATC instead for whatever reason, because it's different. Oh, here's something I didn't mention. Another big plus that I love about St. Intentions is that you can do a PDC in select aircrafts, and that's friggin' awesome. I was doing PDCs so much in the Phoenix that once the Phoenix update came out and broke PDC, I forgot how to make my clearance calls. No lies. And since I've got it back now, but I love PDCs. It's so cool. It's so awesome. You just jump over the ground and get your pushback. Alright, all looking grand. So yesterday, when I did, my last flight I did yesterday was in the E-Jet 170. And I got past Freedom, and then it told me to turn heading, what was it, 270, I think it was. It was backtracking me. And I think it was going to send me back to Bucko, because it said, we'll make contact within 37 miles. So I think it was sending me back to Bucko, and then to come back on the route again. And I kept asking it, so I initially asked it, can you give me the vectors to stand, or to together? I tried from, I tried September 11, I tried forgot, and it wouldn't do it. It's like, nope, can't do it, can't do it, can't do it. Whereas, say, Intentions, if I ask for a vector to a different, or if I ask for a direct to a fix, it will give it to me, and it knows where I am. So that's the one of the really cool things about, say, Intentions, is that even if the AI goofs up and loses you, if you ask it for a direct, it will figure out where you are and get you on course again. And this is what, number 5 now? What else? Approach Delta 516, passing 12,000, descending via Freedom 6. This is approach. Never mind, my mistake.
Delta 516, verify information Quebec.
I keep forgetting how to do that. Information Quebec on board, Delta 516.
Delta 516, Potomac approach. Good day, altimeter 3007. Expect radar vectors for RNAV Yankee runway 19er.
Expect the RNAV Yankee 19er, altimeter 3007, Delta 516. Forgot what my call sign was. That voice sounded like, what's that dude's name? Oh shoot, now I gotta look it up real quick. He was in The Last of Us. And he's also Nick Offerman. That voice sounded like Nick Offerman. Alright, almost passing 10,000, so let's get our landing lights, taxi, get our log on. Whoops. Wrong button. I have shortcuts now to folders on my Stream Deck. It's been a blast. What's going on with that? What's he yelling at me about? Oh, can't hold, that's fine. E-center handoffs are nothing new to ATC products before. Say Intentions beyond ATC. This was known, but beyond ATC is using the same methods like these older programs. Ah, okay. Yeah, I guess I do remember it in the built-in ATC. A lot of center handoffs. I've never used FS HUD. I did use, what's the other one called? Pilot to ATC. I did use that a little bit, but I got so confused with it. But I don't know about the center handoffs there. I know Say Intentions had the issue for a while, but it seems to be substantially better. You're making me want to fly the 737. You know, so I've said it before, I love watching 757 Spy. I absolutely love his videos, or his streams, his videos, whatever. He's a great streamer, very down to earth and a casual person. But like he flies a diverse amount of different aircrafts, and I find myself wanting to fly that. So he's been flying the 737 more. and the Embraer, and recently the 300. So I think I'll probably be jumping in the 300 again soon, the 306. But yeah, like when you watch other people fly, you're like, oh man, I want to jump back into that plane.
All aircraft be
Totally get it.
advised information. Romeo now current. Altimeter
Romeo.
3007.
I use PF3 and Pro ATC. Okay, but I promised myself I will only fly Phoenix for the month of September to learn.
Delta 516, leave Freedom heading 060. Expect radar vectors for RR. Nav Yankee runway 19er.
Lee Freedom 6, heading 060, Delta 516. 060. Let's see if that's actually the course that's already in the navigation here.
Delta 516, turn left, heading 060. Vectors for the approach.
Pretty close to. Left heading 060, Delta 516. I don't like how this is going.
Delta 516, descend, maintain 7,000 feet, altimeter 3007.
Okay, looks like it's doing alright. Heading select. Descend and maintain 7,000, Delta 516. What is PF3? I've never heard of PF3. Encore software. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I never heard of FP3. Interesting. Oh, it wanted me to do 7,000. Whoops. Well, whatever.
Delta 516, turn left, heading 050, descend, maintain 6,000.
6,000. Left heading 050, down to 6,000, Delta 516. I don't know if I trust what's going on here. I see what it's doing. I'm hoping for the best. I flew the Innobuild 320 after the Phoenix. I can't think about bad. Yeah. So I did when they had the 320, the Innobuild 320 in like testing whatever for one of the sim updates. I flew it and wow. And that was back when I wasn't a huge fan of Phoenix. But yeah, it was bad. So that's what got me to try the
Delta
Phoenix.
516, 12 miles from Derrick, turn right, heading 110, maintain 2,700 feet until established. Cleared our Nav Yankee runway 19er.
Right heading 110, descend and maintain 2,700, cleared for the RNAV Yankee 19er, Delta 516. Alright, all looking grand there. Yeah, I was talking about, I think you were gone at this point, but I was talking about the Max. I'm super excited. I'm hoping it's a good price. Why are we not descending? I'm hoping it's a good price, and I hope it's good. And I want to know when the release date is. Alright, let's go brakes 2 on this one. I'm a little concerned on what it's doing here. Derrick's here, that's where we should be going, so I'm going to see if it gets us over there, but I'm a tad bit concerned here. But yeah, I'm really excited for the Max. Really, really excited for the Max. Alright, why did the speed increase? What is going on here? Can I switch over to just manual speed? Oh, click this button. Alright, let's drop the speed down to 210. And what's my V's expected here? How do you get this? Climb. $138, $131. I don't like how anything's going here because now we're way off course, but we're supposed to be on the RNAV Y. This is definitely not the RNAV Y. This is going to be a direct. It looks like. Well, I will say this. I've flown into Reagan many times with the intentions, and it's never effed up this bad. This is a visual, but this isn't the river visual either. This is some weird... If this is doing what I think it's going to do, it would turn me momentarily. It's some weird straight-in... But I don't even know if it's going to do that. I'm so confused at what it's doing. Oh, until established. I screwed up. That's my bad. It said, maintain 2,700 until established, cleared for the RNAV. I should have been on the RNAV, right? Alright, let's swing back. I think this is my bad. This isn't beyond ATC issue. I think this is my mistake. I wasn't paying attention enough. The last call was Delta 516, 12 miles from Derrick, turn right heading 110, descend and maintain 2,700 until established. Okay, so then I should have been on the RNAV. Yeah, so that's my fault. This is all my fault. Alright, I'm gonna send us direct to Derrick.
Delta 516, contact Washington Tower 119.1.
There we go. Okay. And then I'll throw on LNAV as well. And now we're on tower. Alright, my bad. And this is why I'm not a professional pilot. Alright, over the tower. We'll wait until we get onto the RNAV. I was so confused. I was like, it's been fine so far. Like all the flights I've come into to Reagan, except for like the approaches have been fine. At least once I get to this point. But like I was like, this is awful. All right, stupid pilot Joe. And then, alright, so then we're going to drop it down, our altitude down to 1,000. Because we'll be on the RNAV. And let's reduce our speed. Well, there's a restriction. I just don't remember what it is off the top of my head. Okay, so we're making returns, all looking grand. Washington Tower, Delta 516 on the RNAV Yankee 19. Alright,
Delta 516, Washington Tower, wind 140 at 6. Runway 19er cleared to land.
Runway 19er cleared to land, Delta 516. Alright, let's bring our speed on down to 138. Flaps are coming down. Alright, we're back in business, everyone. Let's see if we can see anything coming in. gear. Let's arm our speed brake. Flaps 10. And 20. Or sorry, 15. $25. Okay, all's looking great so far. Okay, got the bridge in sight here at the distance, right there. I adjusted the speed a little too low. That's my bad. This whole approach has gone to hell. All pilot air, by the way. Alright, I think we're ready for take over, huh? Wait for this one little turn here, then I'll take over. Alright, my aircraft. Let's hope we don't die.
1,000.
Alright, runway in sight. Okay, remember this is not a fly-by-wire, so I do have to adjust. Okay, Pappy say we're high. So I'm a little confused because my RNAV is telling me that I need to drop to, well yeah, I guess it's saying I have to drop, okay.
500.
Little late on that turn. Readjust and get center line here.
100.
Okay, good, a little low, but I think we'll be alright. Magic. The famous last words, I think we'll be alright.
20. 10.
Oh, we're floating. Why are we floating? Why are we floating? What's going on? Okay, that was weird. What the hell was that about? I've never floated with the 737. It was interesting.
Delta 516, exit right at Alpha.
Right at Alpha. Right at Alpha, Delta 516. Well, okay. That was interesting landing. Alright, where are we going? Gonna give me ground or not?
Delta 516, contact ground 121.7.
1217. Washington ground, Delta 516 on taxiway Alpha. Looking to taxi to gate Bravo 11.
Delta 516, welcome to Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport, gate Bravo 11 taxi via Alpha. Hold short runway 22.
Gate Bravo 11 via Alpha, hold short 22, Delta 516.
Delta 516, cross runway 22 at Juliet. Continue taxi via Alpha Juliet. Hold short runway 22.
I'm holding short 22. Taxi to gate 11 via Alpha Juliet, hold short 22, Delta 516.
Delta 516, cross runway 22 at Juliet. Continue taxi via Alpha Juliet Kilo 5 Kilo.
Continue to gate 11 via Alpha Juliet Kilo 5 Kilo. Cross runway 22 Delta 516. Alpha Juliet. Where the hell is... Oh, something's all screwed up here. Okay, wanted me to go a different way. Sorry. Looking at the charts. It thought I was elsewhere. Okay, well, we're just going to taxi to Bravo 11. Alright, well, so, same tension's pretty good. Or not same tension, beyond ATC pretty good. The center handoff stuff was insane. The approach was my mistake. 100% my mistake. The taxi instructions, could be a mixed mistake. Could be both parties. I don't know if I'm fully guilty of that one. I'll bring up the chart momentarily. I don't think I'm fully guilty on that mistake. But everything else is fine. Voices are fine. There's actually a delay with processing the information. I'm not sure if they're having server issues. It's not a bad thing. I think it's great, because it's normally way too fast. I love this livery too, this old school Delta livery. What the hell's Bravo 11? Where is it? There it is. I don't know what the hell happened with the floating of this plane. Like I said, I never float with the 737. And my speeds were within target, so that's interesting. Oh, I guess we're parking next to this big-ass Airbus. We'll park somewhere else, because we'll end up clipping the wings if we go there. I'll be nice. I'll be a respectful simmer. We'll go over here to, what is this? Now we'll go right up here. 18? That's where I parked yesterday, actually. Alright, so let's get the parking brake set. Go on down. I keep going over here because I'm used to the Airbus. Chocks, ground power, and jetway coming up. Waiting for the ground power to kick in. There it is. And then we'll turn off engines. I forgot to turn off the packs. Okay, so I'm going to bring up the charts here in a second. Let's see if NEWSKY auto closes out this flight or not. Let's see if it goes down to 0, if it will. Okay, so we're gonna pull up Navi. So I was here at Alpha. And I kept moving forward. So I think I got confused here because I was slowly. I should have stopped here, I guess. So I guess it's more of my user error, because then it gave me Juliet Kilo 5, probably Kilo, and then Bravo 10 is, or whatever the hell it was, Bravo 12, whatever gate it was right here somewhere. So probably again user error, but it didn't correct it. Same tensions will correct. You know, so like if I was here, same tension would likely know I was there and then tell me to continue Alpha and either Bravo or Charlie, probably Charlie, Kilo, and into there. So, who knows? Let's close out of NEWSKY. 968. Man, I'm sucking. It's that stupid landing. Oh, I was also late. Okay, so off center line landing, perfect under 4 meters. So I was slightly off of that. Long landing, because whatever float that was about. Yeah, not bad. Like, look at the numbers though. I'll show you my flights. Look, this is how pathetic this is. Okay. Okay, see if you notice the pattern here. Crappy. That wasn't bad. That was definitely my best one in the 737. And that's crappy. For some reason, these are crappy. These two. But then I had a perfect one there. Craps. Perfect one there. Crap. Damn. Not great, but perfect one there. Perfect one there. Crap one there. I feel like I've done more flights than that. Oh, September. And then I don't know if I did any in August. Yeah, here we go. Perfect, perfect, perfect. See? It's 319s, right? If I do the Phoenix, I do alright. Look at that. Perfect, perfect. And that was my first ever flight with it, so it sucked. But NEWSKY is a lot of fun. I highly recommend checking it out. Highly recommend it. But I'm gonna end the stream here. I do appreciate everyone who's watched, as always. A lot of fun. This flight was cool. I love flying, departing from Pittsburgh. I love flying into DCA. Reagan's really, really nice. This is a really well done airport. A really, really nicely done airport. The weather was interesting from both airports. Beyond ATC did a pretty decent job. And the 737 was great up into that float. I don't think that was user error. I think there was something else going on with that, but I don't have anything to prove that. It could be partial user error because I'm used to the flare a little different in the 319, 320, but I've never had it float that long in the 737. Normally the 737 just drops out of the sky. But anyways, again, thanks for watching, and we'll see everyone on the next video or stream. So take care.